Hello, it's me, Queen Sensitivity. There is a fly in my room. I've been trying to get rid of it, but we'll just let it be for now. How does my skin look? I feel like it looks a little white-ish, like on the texture. It probably is my sunscreen, but I just wanted to come in for an update because I felt like it was the right thing to do. I feel like I've been guided to share. Um, okay, so I think the first thing that I'll start out with is like the Schumann resonance. Um, there was like been a long blackout of the technology not being able to keep up with the intensity of what's happening, and there are a lot of, I guess, symptoms and reactions to it. I think one of the interesting things about, I don't know, how I've like taken it, I was very scared to like share all the things about it because I was like, people are gonna think I'm crazy. Like I remember telling this, I think, to a friend and also my divine masculine, and they believe you, but then like it's this feeling of like, okay, but you know, it is all backed by science. And I also just don't like the idea that people like need science as proof. And so I feel like that's one of the messages that I want to share with you, for you, is like, if you feel like when you share these things with people you trust and that you love, and they kind of like don't believe you, or they say they do but they don't really take you seriously, it don't really matter, because at the end of the day it's happening to everybody. Like whether they want to admit it or not, or recognize it or not, what's happening, it is happening, and they are having symptoms as well, whether it be physical or, you know, emotional. A lot of healing and trauma coming up. Recently, what I've experienced is kind of like this roller coaster of emotions. Like I was very high in bliss and love and light, and then I was like in anger and frustration, and I keep like going up and down. I've been very frustrated with like minute, like kind of like mundane everyday things that I used to enjoy, like driving. I really don't like driving. I wish I could teleport, because I don't like the traffic and you have to stop, and then you have to think about gas and like taking care of your car, and then also, you know, keeping yourself safe. And it's like, it's so many little things. It's been very stressful. So let me know if you've noticed that as well. I did my hair today, which took forever. That's another thing that I'm just like, I can't wait till we are so high vibrational that we are self-sufficient and sustaining, and we don't have to have all these different, I don't know, things supporting us. I think I am going to get a little bit into it. I'm not an expert on this, but I feel called now to share. So basically, this pattern has been going around and taught as like the flower of life. But this flower, as beautiful as it is, and we're not gonna, I don't know, hate on it today, it is functioning in a closed system. I found all this information out from Ramona Lappin, but it's also an Ascension glossary. And as always, I always check my intuition with whatever information I'm being told to see if it resonates for me. And this is something that is true. So this is functioning as a closed system, and it's kind of like how we've been before, where we are not like self-sustaining, and we need kind of like to get other things in order to sustain our life force. And that's where you have all these things like this idea that we can die, because, you know, I guess the body does die, and it's because it's living in this closed system where it's not like, you can think about, what's it called, like decomposing, and it comes back as like a new life. Like it has been an ended cycle. And so now we are functioning in an open system. There's a picture of like the open system of flower of life. I'm sure you could look it up. Like I said, Ascension glossary has all these things. But I feel like the reason that I'm bringing this up now is because, I don't know, maybe somebody has like some questions about Ascension and what the end result of it is going to look like. One of the things is that we're going to have an open system where you are fully self-sovereign, and your own body system is able to sustain itself, and you don't need to do like these things. I have gone to this frequency several times, and when I've been over there, because it's, you know, it's not like over there, but you know what I mean, when I've been over there, I do not feel the need to eat. I don't feel the need to drink anything or to use the restroom. I don't think I've ever consumed anything in all the times that I've been over there. You just feel so alive. You feel so alive and so connected to everything around you that I either do two things. I either just sit there and kind of just feel and interact with everything, or I like fly off and like go have fun with my family members, my community members, or I'll like go and have fun with the animals. I got a ride on a huge dragonfly creature. It wasn't a dragonfly exactly, but you know, that's I guess the closest that we have to it. It just was flying in the sky. And so you see, like, none of this stuff comes up about like, oh, I have to be home by a certain time so I can go eat, and I have to do this so I can make sure that I'm eating nutritious food. Like, there's none of that stuff. Take it out. And it's because your body is vibrating and in an open system where it's constantly like rebirthing itself. It's eternal in that way. 644. So the reason, I guess, that inspired me to do this recording is because I have been encouraged by Spirit, as I've said several times, to not worry about trying to get a higher paying job and not to plan. I've been asked to do very little, and when I'm called to make these posts and stuff, which actually don't tax me, they usually make me feel better, because what happens is with all these downloads, they come into me, and then if I don't share them, they kind of like stuck in my body, which is, you know, fine, because I can do things to get it out, but it's helpful to share the message. And that's what I'm here to do as well, is to share these messages with everybody. So anyways, those are the things that I've been called to do. And earlier this week, it feels like last week, time has been like a trip, but I was listening to this pick a card by Solstice Gym. I'll have her link in the description below, and she was basically saying like to go forward and to like do what I keep being told to do, which is to not do my job. And so today, when I was doing my schedule for like my availability, I was like, Spirit was telling me, and the wind is picking up now outside. It's always nice to do readings outside because you can see like immediately the universe responds. Whereas in here, there's nothing. Sometimes this little light will go off and it'll change colors, but they're being good today. Anyways, a lot of distraction, hard to focus. But Spirit was, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this week where I'm not gonna go to work for 2 days. Because what happened at the start of summer was that I was taking off the schedule for 2 days without like having to do that. And Spirit was telling me now, recently, that was to show me that, you know, it's okay if you don't do this job, you will still be taken care of. And when I found out that was my schedule, I was a little worried, but then I ended up getting like booked for readings, and my mom also sent me money without me even asking. Like, I didn't ask for like anything, and I received money. Like, it just came to me, and I took that as a sign that I was on the right track. And so today when I was doing my schedule, and I was like, okay, I need a sign. I usually, when I ask for a sign and I'm not in nature, I'll like go on Instagram and I'll be like, okay, show me a pair of wings. And today I saw this pair of wings. It was this exact image that came up on Instagram. And I was like, I got that deck. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's called The Blessing. And here it is for you. And I feel like this is a message for you, because as I was telling my friend last night, I have to be the change that I want to see in the world in order to inspire other people to be that change. And that's how you change the world. There has to be people that, I just saw 1010, it has to be people that are doing the risk taking. Somebody has to take risks and start living in the new higher blueprint in order for it to be, available. So basically, I'm just going to read what this says. It says, an angel holds her sword in front of her and prays for protection. Her gaze is strong and focused like a crusader. This figure seeks a blessing before going to war. We all need at times some confirmation that we are on the right track. You might call it a blessing. Some of us will receive this from a trusted advisor or mature member of the family, acknowledging our path. Others will seek this out in their faith. A blessing can set us on the right track, validating a decision or dream we may be pursuing. It is not unusual for us to receive signs from the universe letting us know that a choice we are considering or an idea we are having is the right one. Has a song come on the radio at just the right time, its words appropriate for something on your mind, helping you to make a decision? Has a conversation arisen with friends that perfectly align with a topic or idea you were thinking about? It might be that there are no coincidences and these messages were truly meant for you. You might call them signs. If you have drawn this card, it means that your idea is being blessed and your wishes are being answered. This is a fortuitous card, suggesting that whatever is on your mind or is a subject of your question is favored and divinely blessed. So that's a message from Spirit. I'm also hearing now to tell you, to inform you that the old way, the old blueprint, the old, instructions, they are no longer relevant. I was watching a show today, and I've mentioned this before. It's called Home, and I love it. And it's on Apple, and it was this, all the episodes are about these people who build their own homes, and they're basically saying that it took a long time. Some people took 10 years. In the one that I was watching, they said it took 4 years for them to build their home. And when I was watching this, I'm just like, that's old. This whole idea of we're gonna save money and we're gonna live in this area that we don't want to live in, that's cramped and small, and we're gonna suffer for about 4 years. But at the end of those 4 years, we'll have a home for us for the decades to come. This idea of suffering in order to get this in the future prize that you wanted, that's done. It's no longer needed. I'm also hearing that was never a natural way of being. And also in these things, it's just, they mention time a lot of making sure to pay attention because time is running out. And as you've heard me say before, time does not exist in the way that I perceive it and the way that many of us perceive it. And so what I have, seen in New Earth is, I don't even, the times that I've been there, I don't care about time. It's not even a thing. And I feel like people might assume that this makes you care less and be less appreciative because there's not this ticking clock ticking down and you're not clutching on everything. But it actually sets you free. You're not even worried about the possibility of, anything ending because you're so enamored by everything that just is, and it's just so in the moment. And that's the only time that ever exists. 1414 is in the moment, is right now. And I feel like you don't even have to worry about becoming unappreciative, because I feel like the way that a lot of us view immortality is different from being eternal, even though they can be interchangeable. But this is the way that I've heard it be described, and I loved it. So you think about vampires are immortal, right? And you see in the movies how they get bored after years of just doing the same thing, and it's because of this. It's because they are living in a closed system where they cannot grow. It's like they're frozen, but they're immortal, kind of like plastic. We are not going into this plastic immortality kind of life. This is eternal. This is the life that God experiences, where there is constant growth. You're constantly rebirthing, like I was saying, in that open system. And so there's always something to be curious about. There's always some more love to share, some other, I don't know, excitement to chase after. But at the same time, you are so aware, because a lot of people who aren't highly sensitive people, they live their lives very differently. They aren't aware to the subtle shifts of everything. They can't hear, like I can hear like animals be like, hey, I'm over here, or the cards, I can hear them saying things. So imagine like that, but like you're a highly sensitive person, but like times 10. You feel, you are everything around you. And so you love yourself inherently because you're connected to source. So you love yourself. And if you love yourself, then you love everything around you. And if you love everything around you, then you appreciate everything around you. And you are naturally just grateful for that. So there is no need to, I don't know if anybody was having fears. I know this came up, somebody said that, like, oh, you know, this idea, because we've been so trained, like, if I don't have to work for anything, if I don't have to like struggle in like this barren place before I am able to achieve my dreams, like this idea of like work hard and then you get to relax. It's just like, it's really like a slavery kind of mentality. And this isn't to say that there won't be challenges, but there's certainly, it won't be like this. I feel like even with challenges presented to us in uncomfortable feelings or situations, because we are so aware of ourselves and so connected to everybody, I feel like a lot of time we'll kind of enjoy things going wrong, so to speak, like children who haven't been like overly influenced by their ego. Like you see them, one of the things, I think I'll just give this example of like, I feel like I'm gonna start this again.